Continuiamo a parlare di intelligenza artificiale, lo facciamo con il prossimo ospite, parleremo dell'AI generativa e analitica per capire come queste applicazioni concrete possono trovare spazio nei processi decisionali e nelle strategie di investimento. Ho il piacere di chiamare qui a fianco a me Peter Zangari, partner ed Head of Americas di Mdotm LTD. Prego! Voleva creare un po' di suspense. Allora, questo servirà per cambiare slide, to switch a slide. Over to you, Peter. Yes. Number 2. Okay.
Okay.
And
Can you hear me?
okay. Yes.
It's great
Thank
to be
you.
here. Great to be in Milano. I come here directly, kind of semi-directly from Chicago. So it's an easy trip if you like sleeping on a plane and maybe missing a flight or two. But I'm really excited to be here. So why am I here? I'm here for a couple of reasons. The first, in no particular order, I recently invested in and became a partner in a firm called Mdotm. And it's a terrific firm with awesome founders. And I came across it when, as part of my 30-year career on Wall Street, I spent time at Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and did the traditional stuff, so to speak, when you're in finance in the US. And my last stint was at MSCI. And do you guys know MSCI, the world's largest developer of benchmarks indexes? So I decided, what's my next adventure? What else should I do? So I was always close to technology and I always used it as part of the research that I did. And I always was impressed in terms of what it can do, the value it can create, regardless of what you're focusing on. And so I decided to get in the fintech space, invest in this fintech space. That's how I came across Mdotm when I was looking around, and then I see a team that, again, really caught my attention. So to the extent that you can learn more about, what they do and why they do it, I recommend focus on that. So the other reason why I'm here is because, I've been around, so to speak. I don't speak Italian. I'm learning. It's taking time. I'm semi-embarrassed that I don't speak it because I come from a family, at least my father, who was born in this country. So shame on me. But having said that, I think I can still do pretty well speaking in English to you, assuming that you can understand most of what I say. All right. And if you can't, just speak it. Make believe you can understand what I'm saying. All right, good. So let's go to the slides. If I can move this thingy. All right. This is the first challenge on stage. Oh, it's moving? Sorry, I'm looking at the time. That's a sign of, all right. So that's me in my picture. Thank you very much. So these are the great companies that we work with, or work for, I should say. All right. You can see we're in 40 companies. And mainly, if you don't mind, I'm going to sit. Is this okay? Getting a little wobbly, talking about this. Maybe I should just say you're an intimidating audience while I'm wobbling, but it's really my jet lag. So now I find myself in an awkward position of talking about these slides. But anyway, this is a client list who we work with. I mean, the names speak for themselves. It's very impressive. And when I first joined the company, that's one of the things that really caught my attention. Because one of the top things that says, how valuable are you as a company, in addition to how your investors, think about you, but what clients you have and how well do you serve your clients? Now, one of the things I want to call out here is, so why are we talking about artificial intelligence? Okay? Why are we talking about it today? So what I say when I talk about AI, I say the future is now. Okay? It is. Meaning that whatever business you're in, you owe it to yourself, to your shareholders, if you have them, to your investors, and especially to your clients, to do your due diligence and take an objective view in terms of how can artificial intelligence better serve my clients. That is a key point. And why do I emphasize that? And again, going back to being around the block a few times, is that it's easy and oftentimes rightfully understandable is to be a little bit skeptical. Oh, AI, everybody's talking about it. It's all kind of just, smoke and mirrors, at least how we say it in the US. But I'm here to say that based on my experience and what I've seen is that we're way past that, okay? People, whether you're in the finance profession, the healthcare profession, medical profession, engineering, obviously, it has the potential to make a tremendous difference in terms of how you do business, okay? So here are a few examples just to kind of give you a sense of why I say something like that. And let me pick one. So for years, reporting, I assume that if you're in the finance profession, every finance function has a reporting mechanism. What do? You produce a bunch of data and then you report it out. And that is something that historically has been costly, inefficient, and often underserves the client. But by using artificial intelligence, and this is an example, we see first and foremost at Mdotm, it transforms the way that you communicate with your clients, how you can create a better client experience through using artificial intelligence. So rather than serving up a table of numbers, which nobody loves, many fake that they like them, but nobody really loves to see a table of numbers. Why? Because they have to do the work to figure out what did those numbers mean. But if you can take those numbers that are important and write a story around them, a narrative, now it's a whole different ballgame. And that's one area in particular, other than a few others for sure, where you see artificial intelligence can make an important difference. The other thing you may ask is, why now? Okay, why now? Why are we talking about artificial intelligence? Because it's nothing new. But it's one of those situations where it's nothing new, but there's three things at least that have come together, which makes it extremely powerful. Real quick, I know I'm running out of time. Number one, the availability and the amount of data that is here today. Talk about big data and things like that. Number one, the data. Number two, compute power. You now have the ability to run computations at a much faster, wider scale than you could historically. And number three, making use of these algorithms that have been around for some time, but oftentimes just sitting on shelves in bookstores, but in libraries, bookstores too. So that has all come together, and that is why, I'm here today talking about AI, and why, I would invite all of you, if you haven't done it already, to really pay attention to these exciting and important developments. So on that note, I'll stand, say thank you very much.